of brings me on to my next big point, really, which is about workflow and about well-being. And those two things might not necessarily sound like they go together, but I have come to believe, particularly through the pandemic, particularly through our remote learning time, our guided home learning, through the return to school in really difficult circumstances, through a kind of hybrid blended model, and how do we support people who may now be in and out of the classroom. And obviously that's got huge implications for the future in general. There are lots of children who may find themselves out of the classroom. How can we support them? How can we work with them? Workflow is key. So we are living in this media saturated, information heavy world. We're bombarded with different inputs from all sides at all times. That's not the atmosphere we want at school. It's not the atmosphere we want in the classroom. We want to be building learning experiences here that are centered. There's a stillness, there's a calm, there's space for engagement, space for reflection, for really rigorous academic thought. That's what we do here. We're all about rewarding curiosity, rewarding that perseverance and endeavour in your academic work. And so how do we do that? What does that look like? And how do these tools from Firefly and Microsoft contribute to that? Well, if you want that to reduce that sense of overwhelm, what you've got to do is do less. You've got to deliver impact with less stuff. And the way to do that is to be really judicious about what tools you use and what you use them for. So that in a lesson or for a homework or during the course of the day, the students aren't going to be bouncing from one software tool to another, to achieve lots of different little purposes or activities. That's not going to be a model that's satisfying even within a lesson, let alone when you look from a student point of view through an entire day. And so we have been really rigorous, as we always are, in our selection of tools, but in communicating to staff how we use them. So obviously, when you've got Firefly and OneNote and Teams, the question that comes up a lot and came up a lot for us 3 years ago when we began adopting these ways of working was, well, what do we put where? We've got these three systems where there's an overlap there. It's quite a Venn diagram of where could you put your teaching materials, where could you put your resources, where will the students do the work? And sorting out that workflow was a real priority.